production has been a little bit slow of late for some reason, but I wanted to do an exploration of this game. Normally for this type of thing, especially for ASMR, I would do a nice relaxed drive. We're still going to keep the vibe nice and chill, but the driving might go a little faster. I'm going to cover a lot of territory, but overall it's just about being chill, hanging out, gonna explore the map, gonna drive some different cars, maybe do a little car shopping at the end or as we go along if needed. First of all, huge kudos to the developers. So great to see a game with so much positivity around it. Seeing something that it's the 6th version, but it's very polished, very fun. And then clearly the devs have put a ton of care into so many releases are pretty rough these days for various reasons. So great to see something that clearly a lot of love has gone into and gets a great community response. The Japan map is amazing. We've all waited a long time to see Forza Horizon in Japan, and feels like they really nailed it. In my BMW M5 this beautiful morning, we're going to take advantage of auto drive, which is a nice new feature. So you transit between locations easily and even does things like speed traps along the way. So pretty cool. Gives you a chance to really enjoy seeing the car and its surroundings. Of course, this BMW M5 is one of the great automobiles of all time. Just an incredible car. So I thought I'd start with that. Gorgeous morning here with the sunrise. See the mountains up there to the north of the map. Japanese Alps. I'm not too familiar with the map yet. It's going to be using the GPS for the most part, rather than pure rambling around. We'll ramble as we ramble. Beautiful piece of machinery. I like these earlier M cars. Performance was always amazing. Just feel like they started getting bigger and heavier as time went on. It was a pretty close pass there. The driving AI does a decent job with navigating traffic avoidance, but not perfect. The AI in races still has all of the Forza Horizon problems. You can be off the racing line, the car will be on, and it will yank the wheel into you. Super frustrating. I get it's a hard problem, but that's kind of been a classic issue. And it's one of the drawbacks, but really the times that that's actually really impeded my enjoyment of the game are minuscule every now and then in a key race, but with rewinding usually not that big of a deal, just kind of an annoyance. Like the blue accent stripe on this thing. Sun is coming up here. Try to get around this Dodge Ram. Through this nice forested area here. Still kind of getting acquainted with the various regions and some of their real world equivalents. Had the fortune to visit Japan at the end of last year. Had an absolutely terrific time. Really enjoyed it and covered a lot of ground in the country. From Tokyo down to Kyoto and Osaka, through Hiroshima and up to Nagano. So got to see a decent amount of the country. Love to go back and see a lot more, but perfect setting for driving. A driving game like this, just holding up traffic a bit. We plan our next move here. Of course, BMW famously angles the console towards the driver. It's supposed to be driver-focused automobiles. Take a little look at this amazing four-door performance sedan. The map is incredible in this game. Let's head into Tokyo. Check out Shibuya. Shibuya Scramble Crossing, the famous multi-directional intersection and crosswalks. Tons of people go through every day. Let's get back on the road again here through the Japanese countryside. The devs have just done an awesome job with how this all looks and having distinctive feel across different parts of the map, capturing the different regions of Japan. Gorgeous sedan here on the road as we head into the city. Tokyo's so huge and dense, can only do a whoa, you saw that, he hit me. Can only do so much. There's a couple areas I kind of wish were in, but I totally recognize there are limits on such a mega city in a game like this, which already has a vast scale. But so many cool little parts of Tokyo. Hard to get them all. Some pedestrians on the overpass there. Passing a taxi. Very excited to get one of the Japanese taxis, the Toyota Crown version. I think that's available in the game at this point, to look for that. But yeah, here we are in Shibuya. Like I said, this, the intersection here behind us. It's a massive amount of pedestrian traffic, and now it's completely overrun by influencers and people doing social media content. You'll see lots of folks run out with their camera setups to capture the madness for their channels. definitely an intensely crowded experience. There's a little mall, multi-level indoor mall type thing off to our right here. Kind of behind us, integrated kind of like hotels and eating areas, shopping. Now I had grabbed some footage with the drone, checking out the Shibuya area, and somehow I seem to have lost that, so I didn't get the overview that I wanted for you, but basically in game you kind of drive through this segment here. Let's take a look back there at the famous Shibuya intersection. But I think it's time to grab a car, and I think we'll want to go Japanese. Obviously we've started with some fine German engineered automobile, but I've got that Porsche 944 Turbo. The first two wheel spins I had, got that, and then the Ford Focus RS, the rally car, Colin McRae rally car. I think those might have been preset because they were relevant to the next two races. I don't know. But I couldn't be happier regardless, because those are two cars that I love. But we're going with the Subaru SVX as we drive through the scramble intersection here. And let's head down this little alley into the little side streets of Shibuya. All the little shops and eateries. And a chance to take out one of these mascots, the regional mascots in the game. Kind of replacing the fast travel boards for something you can go collect. I actually appreciate they've just made fast travel available for wherever you've been. I think we get the gist of the game at this point, and there's plenty of reasons to travel the map, so I think it makes sense to do a little regional mascot replacement of the boards. Getting a look of the full map here. I think it might be good to head up north. There's also kind of this more beach region out here to the east side of the map. And this island you need to get access to, and we have Tokyo and Tokyo Bay. A little southern region, Mount Fuji is kind of out to the west here. But let's kind of head across the map and check out more of the regions in the game. And these tight little alleyways here, a little unavoidable destruction. Who needs bikes in a car game anyway? So yeah, head through Shibuya again here. Oh man, there's an innocent victim, brutally rear-ended. Trying to damage my classic vehicle. Had to go with the Subaru SVX. This car foresaw, it's like so futuristic, so evocative, like incredible sports car. Looked amazing. And then unfortunately it was super heavy and not fast at all, which is unfortunate. Its performance really didn't match the looks, but I just got to appreciate it and take it out for a spin here. Getting up onto the freeways of Tokyo here. Make our way out of town here. You may hear a few noises from the baby. He's napping, hopefully not too disruptive here. As we make our way on the highway, a view of the Tokyo Tower there, of the icons of the Tokyo skyline. They don't have the super tall tower in the game, which would be cool, but the Tokyo Tower is certainly iconic. Passing through the tunnel here, this guy in his CRX aggressively trying to get by us. A little bit of wiggling from the AIs. Handles some passing tasks here on the open road. There we get a nice view of Mount Fuji. I haven't explored all of the map and identified kind of all the real world regions and places it's meant to evoke. But it feels like geographically it's arranged a little bit different than I would expect in terms of where they've placed things. I think roughly so relative to Tokyo, but some of it feels a little bit different to my sense of the geography. And that may just be kind of for overall flow and to try to create a good driving layout. We have at some sort of stoppage here. The game couldn't figure out its navigation of some AI traffic there. Kind of reset itself. But we're on our way again. Again, Fuji out there in the distance. Big stadium there off to the left, Horizon Stadium. Which is our current destination. Onto the gravel. This will give us a chance to check out the west edge of the map. Alright, so we've changed things up. Gone with the Mitsubishi Lancer. Incredible street car built with four-wheel drive and a turbocharged engine. which could then be used to compete in rallies. Just an awesome, awesome car. Hit one of these mascots in the gas station here. Oh, there's cars for sale. Awesome, the Jaguar XJ220. Like a nice kind of sky blue there. So it would be worth picking up. They have these cars for sale along the road, which is pretty cool. Some of them are upgraded, so they're not stock, pre-upgraded for you. And some are stock but offered at a discount. It's pretty expensive. I really would like to get it, but a lot of money at the moment. We also have this Nissan GTR. Freaking awesome car. Definitely want this. All-wheel drive supercar. I think we're definitely gonna have to go with this because I've been ready for one of these with Forza Horizon 6 coming out. So I think we might as well pick one up at a discount while we have the opportunity. I don't know if these things are kind of really transient and limited time opportunity or whether they'll just hang around. And then it looks like there's also a Subaru Vixio from 1994. Already going 90s with this Lancer I'm in, so we might need this ferocious little all-wheel drive Subaru. I'm gonna take it for a test drive.
Wise choice.
See what this baby is like.
The clock is ticking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is a little monster. Fire-breathing demon, this thing. I think I'm sold already. Looks like we've got another 2.5 minutes to test drive this. But I think just sitting in this thing, I was sold on it. Not familiar with this car, personally, but guess that's the fun here. Get to find out about some new cars, especially some of the foreign market cars that JDM offering, like this one. Hey, there's a Porsche 968 for sale. Even though we're on a test drive, we're gonna bash a mascot and do some damage. Gonna be buying it, so no big deal. Alright. Driving this baby along the highway here. Feels good. Wish that we had little tiny four-wheel drive hatchbacks like this still. Whoa, going a little crazy there. I'm supposed to drive to this point. Okay, just free drive, but we'll bash this board while we're here. Get some XP. But yeah, definitely going to buy this. But we'll stick with the Lancer for now. Alright, back into the Lancer. When I first started really getting into cars, and heard about this car. It was sort of life-changing, mind-blowing. This like little four-door family car, except it had a turbocharged four-cylinder engine and four-wheel drive, so it could be used in rallying instead of tearing around dirt and gravel stages, racing on real roads. Just really captivated by that. Of course, I was a huge Colin McRae fan, so that was on the Subaru side, but I just think like Mitsubishi Lancer sounded so cool. So yeah, definitely really a car that opened my eyes to like all other type of vehicle and stuff that was being made. We just didn't have anything like. In the first Gran Turismo, souped one up and racing against my friend in a Viper. He couldn't believe that I blew past him off the line. Because he had no idea what was in store. Of course, by the end of the first straight, he was leaving me behind, but super cool car. Of course, they finally brought this in the Subaru WRX to the US, like the early 2000s. Going off-road a bit here. Just needed to break that XB board. Dodge a van there. And let's take out another one of those regional mascots. They're styled after food, and I gotta say, food is one of the best parts of Japan, and I wish that played more of a role here. What does that have to do with the driving game? Well, I think it could use a mini game. They've added this like estate building feature where you can decorate your estate, which I'm generally for customization in games and that type of customization, but really doesn't do anything for me in this game. Partly because it has just been a clunky interface for me, maybe even buggy, kind of loading into weird viewpoints. Just another experience board to take care of. And knock down that person's tree while we're at it. Sorry. But I think what it really needs is like a ramen eating or a sushi eating mini game. You can drive around the streets of Tokyo at night and then stop in for a late night bowl of ramen. They do at least have the vending machines out on the street that you see all over. You can get like a coffee out of it. It's fantastic. So those are present in the game, but again, I think you need to be able to actually stop and get something out of those, so you can get that coffee to fuel up for a nighttime drive. think that would really complete the experience, but overall, so much care and craft has gone into this map and world, so again, credit to the devs. Pop down the road here. I'm just grabbing some of these collectibles, if you will. More than collectibles, they do give you rewards, XP, and then there's milestone rewards for getting enough of the little regional mascot. So just doing a little bit to help my game progress along the way here while we're driving around and checking out the lay of the land. Try to stay on my side of the road. Of course, driving on the left in Japan. So it's like, is it 50-50 for driving on the left in Forza Horizon games? England and Australia as well. Okupu region. No Japanese pronunciation skills here. Never studied the language. Tried to get a few words while I was there in Japan, but yeah, no knowledge. Alright, so on the highway here, just kind of taking it easy now. See the mountain range up to the north there. Just driving along in the Lancer. Taking in the sight. I am using a controller for this video, so that's why it may not seem as smooth at times. Also, if other cars are crashing into me and whatnot. Some great overpasses. Cool kind of like spiral on-ramp highway type thing in one part of the map. Gonna map out a new destination up in the northern region, and let's swap out our car just to mix things up. Got a few cars collected already. I appreciate that pretty quickly out of the gates you get a selection. I think some of these are from the pre-order deluxe. I've earned a couple things already. Okay, so we've selected the Porsche 944, 944, and this is kind of, I guess, is it a little bit like the baby Porsche, like how a Lamborghini has a baby Lamborghini? Kind of under the shadow of the 911. This was a terrific sports car in its own right, though. It hasn't kind of received the same acclaim or love, but nicely balanced chassis. It just had the smaller motor. I can't wait to get a Porsche 928. Iconic 80s. just a front-engined V8. We'll have a good time. Oh, a new treasure car clue. Haven't really pursued those yet, as still checking out the map. Get more familiar, we'll hunt those down. But yeah, the Porsche 944, just a great sports car. And I'm out of my mind because I'm just gonna drive by that XP board. You know, I'm just gonna leave myself things to do later and not complete the game in this session. How about we say it like that? There is another one, or a regional mascot coming up, and I'm going to ignore that as well. You know, there'll always be time to go get those. The convenience of fast traveling in this version of the game makes that pretty easy, less essential to get them as you go by. And I like that. Definitely easy to feel compulsive about grabbing those various items in the world. Well, let's go cinematic here. Just get some views of this beautiful red Porsche 944. We've headed off-road into the gravel. Porsche 944 Turbo. Does have the turbocharged engine in it. But yeah, we headed off-road. Probably would have made more sense to stay in the Lancer and put its gravel skills to the test, but that's okay. Can still hit the gravel in this Porsche, no problem. Being a rally fan, I'm a fan of the back roads and the gravel. Like to definitely kick up the rally vibe. Gonna have something coming from Dirt Rally 2 before too long. Something that's definitely more experimental. So, oh, that was awkward. Again, this is the AI driving, so I cannot be held responsible. This is like full on Tesla autopilot here. But yeah, something a little more experimental, but hopefully very relaxing, that video. But we have reached the destination I set. And we're going to be selecting a new car. And I want to, you know what we need? It's the 6000 SUX. That is what has been missing. But let's load into this Toyota Celica GT4. Sticking with red, smaller sports cars here. And gonna keep exploring up here in the northern regions. Hit some of the mountainous and ski slope areas, maybe. Pretty sure I haven't really been up here, as you can see. All the unexplored roads. Okay, start things off with a bang. Alright. I think it's super cool. This is one of the first 3 cars you get in the game. They give you that choice between 3, which are used in those early races. They give them all to you. But this was my first choice. like we were saying with the Lancer, love these cool little cars they built basically for homologation purposes to be able to race them in the World Rally Championship. Nice, getting some kind of icy, gravelly roads here. So we get a little four-wheel drive car. Toyota, of course, did have some success in the World Rally Championship in the mid-90s. Not without controversy. And I guess I'm just gonna drive past that board and leave it for later as we check out this car. Nice kind of white rims. Is it that rally feel? Or is it just that because I associate it with Toyotas like this that I associate it with rally? I don't know. But cool, we're up here in some snowy terrain. You can see the ski slopes on the mountain up ahead. Some great lighting. Very cool to check out this mountain area. And snow on the ground year round up here, not just in the winter season. So I dig that. Like having a snowy area, kind of cool, covered tunnel there through the mountain. But yeah, I like having this kind of mountainous and snowy area. Some great views here. Blizzard Mountain in Forza Horizon 3 was awesome. Really loved driving there. Super fun in the snow. Really great ambiance. You know, it's a shame. Look at that great view towards Tokyo and Mount Fuji. Really cool that we have this high elevation area to engage with. Get some really cool scenic vistas. And yeah, let's get on to the snow here. But yeah, the way that games are starting to become unavailable, you can't get Forza Horizon 3 anymore. You know, they're starting to take servers offline for older games. You know, it's really painful. We should still be able to play those. Obviously, the multiplayer component is an issue, and totally understand it's difficult to keep servers going. Economically over time, but the fact that we kind of lose these games is not the best. Definitely worth going back into. Super great experiences, but certainly much to love and experience here. Yeah, that lighting there is really cool. And there's a broad spectrum of environments here. Very nice. Going through the snow here. I think this has rally tires on, but maybe it's just street tires that I should check. Seem to be managing, however. Check out the mountain zone here. It looks like we're going to be heading down this slope here. Oh, and it's a jump. Perfect form. I feel like that was a gold medal performance. talking about old Horizon games, 4, definitely my favorite. Just loved that environment. It was kind of polished, advanced experience, looked great. Forza Horizon 4, my favorite. Forza Horizon 5, did not really connect with at all. And I think the devs did a great job with it. There's some really great environments. Ooh, a treasure car clue. And it looked great. I don't know what it was. I didn't have a lot of time to play when it came out. I definitely engaged at first and did some of the initial seasons, but just didn't develop the love for it that I did with 4 and already have for 6 here. Probably just needed to spend more time immersing myself in it. Alright, 1000 experience. Right, so back on the slopes here. This is super cool. Really fun to drive on some snow like this. Perfect for some rally machinery. Like we've got here. A little slippy slidey action. It's gonna be good fun. Good for racking up those drift scores. And another little regional mascot to take care of here. Break that one as gently as we can. Yeah, just have a little fun on the snow here. And another bit of experience. Bash our way to higher levels. Alright. And looks like I've got another purple dot up here. Crashing into any board we can find. But it looks like the XP board is up on the roof. On top of this building here. Up there, out of reach, yep. Bet you could probably drive up that slope that I was kind of backed up on there and pop up and get that. A job for another day. I do think it can be fun to figure out getting some of those, and I think in the past some ramps have been added as you progress. Maybe we just crashed into a bus in a wide open empty parking lot. Ooh, Honda Beat. Very exciting. Okay, so I think maybe kind of head out east to catch the edge of the mountains here. Just to kind of feel like we've covered the ground in the northern part, and then we'll head back south again. We got ourselves a new destination, and to keep things fresh, let's change up our car, and I think we need to go with that Nissan GTR. Most excellent, incredible four-wheel drive supercar. I've definitely been looking forward to driving this in Forza Horizon 6, driving it in Japan. Yeah, I love how the mountain looks at night there with the light on the slopes. Super, super cool looking, great feel. Yeah, let's go cinematic. As we drive in our Nissan GTR here, the modern descendant of the classic skyline. Just so perfect for driving around Japan. Looks great. Incredible performance. Definitely looking forward to driving the classic skyline, like the R34 as well. Again, like the Mitsubishi Lancer, when I learned of the Skyline, this incredibly performant four-wheel drive, a little sports coupe that seemed reasonably priced for what it was, just so cool. And why can't we have nice things like that? Remember, some people, okay, the AI is doing this through these kind of like snow canyons, the highway carved out of the deep, deep snow here. There would be some gray market imports back in the day where people would, I don't know exactly what the mechanism was, but get them here in the States. I remember first seeing one on the street and kind of being blown away by it. It was very cool to see one actually in person, in the flesh. Of course, they didn't sell this modern variant here. Sat in one, but never driven one. This modern version. Never been in one of the classic ones. So a little less snowy over here. Kind of more sparse. A little bit of snow, patches of snow on the ground over here. Reached where we marked. I still got kind of mountainous or foothill terrain. Kind of off-road for just a moment here and get this experience board. Worth 3,000 experience points. Make our way back onto this road. Alright, back on the gravel. Mercedes G-Class, definitely want one of those to drive around on the gravelly roads like these. Some luxurious means of travel on these rough roads. Let's take a look at the view here. Hop into drone mode so we can get a more unobstructed look here. This is super cool. Looking out to the coast. The mountains up behind us looks beautiful. Incredible stuff. There's the Fuji in the distance. And then the lights of Tokyo. That is super cool. I really like seeing that. You know, the Tokyo skyline, the way the lights are, seeing it in person, like Shinjuku, you really see where cyberpunk comes from. It just has that particular ambiance, the lighting, or seeing that in cinemas really added that feeling back on top of it. But really cool, you get views like that in this game. Swing all the way down to the city, and we'll start making our way down from the mountains, head more out towards the coast, and check out a little more of the map. Alright, and we will continue that in part 2.